Peter Brown.
Michael Mahardy.
We are playing God of War on PS4 from Sony Santa Monica, the next in the iconic franchise. But things are different this time around.
Yeah, you see this thing?
The Leviathan X.
My axe.
So your review's up, but in this video we want to do a, like more specific combat breakdown because things have changed this time around. You'll probably notice right off the bat, and you've probably already noticed in a lot of trailers if you've been paying attention that, oh, there's Atreus, your son.
Hey, buddy.
With his bow and arrow.
Yeah, he is a helpful little guy in combat,
Yes.
and in addition to managing, my standard axe attacks, things like this, some magical abilities and stuff, I can also command him to fire his bow and arrow on enemies and open them up for combos from Kratos.
So as you'll notice, there's the over-the-shoulder camera. It's more of a, maybe not. It's not a character action game like the older games were or Devil May Cry. It is kind of more along the lines of a melee, Resident Evil 4, Last of Us, Tomb Raider maybe, in terms of level design and stuff. But it's also kind of... remember, if you played Hellblade at all last year, you might have a sense of how this plays. But this goes much more in depth. The combos that you know and love from God of War are still here, presented a little different.
Ish, yeah. It's like the same sort of flow to putting in combos. Let's give them a little demonstration. Why don't we?
So you got some Draugr here, which are reincarnated Norse warriors. Yeah, so you got a shield bash you can use there. You notice your shield folds up into your arm, so that's one skill tree. We'll show those in a little bit, but right now we'll just show these. That was a runic attack, which is kind of your magic attack. You can see down at the bottom left, it's on cooldown now. Sorry, my save file didn't start you with the most health.
No, it did not, but I think I'll be okay. I think.
Got a bit of a fight coming up here.
That's true. Is there anything else left in this room? Any health?
Who knows?
I may have missed. Sometimes there are pots.
So if you see on the left side, it won't do a lot, but on the left, on your UI down at the bottom left, that is a talisman that you equip, and you just did a health burst that essentially gave you a bit of health for a short time.
Yeah. So why don't you describe while I look for some health? Oh, here we go.
Nice.
Actually, maybe no description necessary. What do you say? Do I dive in? Do I look for one more?
Look for one more, maybe. I don't think there's anything in this one, oddly enough. So you have 2 axe throws also. There's one that you can track multiple people before you release it, and then there's another that's just a more powerful vertical throw.
I don't know if I have much choice here. I say we just dive right in, and I will do my best not to embarrass all of GameSpot in this video.
So before you fight him, you could show the trees, maybe. There you go. Give a little teaser. That's a troll. So we don't want to show all these trees because we don't want to spoil too much of the experience at all for people. This video being out about a week before the game's international release. But this is where you're upgrading your axe, shield, bow, and unarmed combat. If you throw your axe or just unequip your axe, Kratos just flat out punches people very hard.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of skills. So, it is I wouldn't say it's a critical piece of combat, but it's certainly an excellent opportunity to explore the many different tactical advantages you could have in battle. There's actually surprisingly a lot of ways to fight in this game.
Yes, we saw you using the shield bash, which pretty much makes a shielded enemy kind of drop their guard. And then you've got here you can do actual attack that hits multiple enemies at a time, AoE kind of things. And then if you go over to the bow and arrow, you can actually upgrade Atreus, which I've been doing a lot in my playthrough because he's very helpful. Yeah,
you'll see over here on the left that magical combat will be a thing that comes around, which I'll be honest, felt a little bit OP to me, but that also means it's incredibly useful. And this game has no shortage of challenges if you look for them. So pretty much everything here can be used to your advantage at some point or another.
So now we got this troll.
We certainly do.
So Atreus, I'll let you fight him while we talk about Atreus. What's his name? Dowdy Hamar. So this is I don't know, what, maybe like a 6th into the game, if that even. Maybe not even that, because this game can be quite long if you're doing everything there is. You see, you're actually commanding Atreus to shoot those arrows with square. And there's your Spartan Rage, which people might recognize from the older games.
Yep, Kratos, he gets mad. Who knew?
And then you can do a ground pound with R2, but...
Well, he just did.
Yeah. And you got your skill cooldowns at the bottom left, which people see.
Now, I'm taking a very cautious approach to this fight because I don't want to die while we're doing this.
Yes.
But, getting up in and close is very important.
Oh, you're on fire.
Oh, I tend... Yeah.
Nice.
There you go. Now, Atreus is yelling about a healing stone. Sometimes he can actually unearth those in combat. Why am I on fire? I thought I was avoiding that.
Yeah, I mean,
Fairly
if you
well.
step into it at all. So that's another runic attack right there. So you've almost got your talisman back that you can refill health with. It won't do a ton, but it might help a little bit.
For sure. And you see, like, dodging is a very important thing here.
Sure.
That can make or break you during a fight if you're somehow, ill-equipped for battle.
Yes. There you go.
Now, sometimes, because equipment is a big thing in this game, you can really tailor it to favor different aspects of Kratos or, maybe account for some weaknesses he has. If you find yourself maybe not prepared for a fight the way you want it to be, you can generally still survive and win. There's almost no requirements in terms of where Kratos is as a character.
And while you were talking, Atreus just did find you a health stone.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
So that is one specific tunic that he has, essentially armor. Maybe we can dive into that in this video after this fight. A lot of this game.
No.
Yeah.
So that just happened.
Yeah, it can get difficult. We don't, like I said, we don't want to show too much. There's so much you could spoil in this game because there's a lot to unpack. But yeah, a lot of this game, as opposed to in the old games when you would just, open chests for blood and then spend that on combos, this is much more about armor, items, and equipment. Maybe those things disguised as gear and whatnot. There you go. You got full health now.
All right.
I kind of set you up to fail.
Thank you.
And so this is one of many different types of enemies you'll fight. I don't know if you can talk too much while you're fighting them, but so the old games obviously kind of really popularized those quick time events during cutscenes. What's the deal with those here?
There are like some light quick time event applications, but honestly, it's not a huge part of the game. It's definitely been, when you compare it to like the multi-layered quick time event like set pieces, those are kind of different. A lot of times in combat, it's just like the final move, and you really only have to do like 1 or 2 button presses.
Sure. They're much more, to me, I'm a fair deal into the game. They feel less like interactive cutscenes. They feel more like, like it'll say like press R1 or R2 to attack in Kratos. You'll just start beating on them.
Yeah.
And it'll feel like you still have a little more agency than you might have in those other cases.
That's true, yeah. There are some like mid-fight sequences where you get to bash an enemy a little.
And actually, can you shoot him with Atreus a few times? If people are paying attention, there is a smaller bar under Dowdy Hamar's health bar, which is the stun meter,
right.
which is pretty big. They tell you early on in the game a viable way to kill or really hurt some enemies is to fully stun them. So if you fill that bar up, arrows can do it. Certain arrows do it better, but also Kratos, his punching attacks do them better than his axe. If you fill that up, you'll see an R3 prompt. If you have the UI turned on or the HUD turned on, you'll see an R3 prompt next to the enemy. And that triggers what we're kind of talking about, these takedowns of sorts. They're not all that varied, but like each individual enemy has unique ones, I'd say.
Yeah.
And you got your shield recharge if you want it. Good dodging.
Thank you.
And this dude is tougher than most the trolls you'd fight up until now. Again, this is like a... I don't even know.
Also, I've been playing this game with an upgraded Kratos for a few days now. So I'm definitely missing a few things. Yeah, but like, again, it goes back to that, what I was saying earlier, is that you don't need very specific abilities to take down a boss. They can give you an advantage, but really it's just about, your attentiveness and your reactions.
Yes. There you go. So here we got an example of that. So you filled up his stun meter. He's also close to death. Got a pretty gruesome kill on this dude right here. You could. So you're actually manually just pressing R2 or R1 there, and then cleaving his face. Got a cool finishing move.
I think you got him.
Yeah. Atreus with his comments. You get some loot. Okay. Something just showed up that we weren't really supposed to show, I think.
Yeah.
But, of course, you'll see it when you play this game. April 20th? This will be out for PS4.
Yes, sir.
Your review is up right now. You can watch that if you want to.
Yes, please do, actually.
And this has been, like a pretty cursory breakdown of the combat, as you saw from the skill trees and as you saw from Pete playing a few different styles. Between the shield, the axe, the talon bow, which Atreus is using, and unarmed combat, and all the... You see different gear. Like, this Kratos might look very different from the one that Pete, you were using, because this is my early save file.
Yeah.
But he's got different wrists. He's got different chest armor, waist armor. you might notice that they will start to look pretty cool throughout the actual playthrough, but they will also start changing up your elemental effects and status effects and resistances and even combos in some sorts.
Indeed.
And runic attacks.
Indeed.
There's a lot to unpack this game. It's a big game. You can go check out GameSpot's review on YouTube or on GameSpot.com, of course. And we will have more from the game coming out in about a week on April 20th. That is when we will have more features up, whether it's guides or kind of in-depth video essays. And we'll hope to see you then.